So, students and families identified lack of student support, class size, deteriorating school facilities, high teacher turnover, and outdated curricular resources as the highest priority issues facing our schools. How would you partner with teachers, students, and families to solve these problems and meet the needs of students?
Well, I think the first thing is that our budget is heavily weighted towards administration. The grand jury report cited that, it's like 500% more money spent on administrators than comparable districts. And I think that that money, it should be redistributed to go to our students. I mean, there's no reason why in one of the highest earning income states and highest economies that our students are lacking the resources they need, that they have deteriorating facilities. I mean, lead in the water, like we talked about, McClymonds, with the pollution. And I would work with teachers and students and families to decide what they think are the highest priorities at their sites. And I would prioritize them in the budget. I mean, I think a lot of the budget is heavy on things that the district doesn't really need. I mean, do we need a person of innovation that is coming in to close schools? I'm not sure what's innovative about it, but I don't agree. I think that that money should be used towards our students. And we have all these contractors who get these high monthly contracts, and we don't have books that are up to date, and Frick doesn't have heat in the winter. I mean, these are things that are disgraceful in one of the biggest economies in the world. So, I mean, my role would be to work with parents and teachers and students. I mean, I am one. I know even at our school, we don't have things that the students need. And it's not something that can just be seen every day or that people necessarily understand, but obviously it needs to be addressed.
Thank you. This is
Students and families identified lack of student support, class size, deteriorating school facilities, high teacher turnover, and outdated curriculum or curricular resources as the highest priority issues facing our schools. How would you partner with teachers, students, and families to solve these problems and meet the needs of students?
Well, board member, your responsibility is to set policy and work with the district. Teachers are employees of the district, so we definitely have to work with the superintendent with policies that will help teachers being paid what teacher salaries are worth, and helping the district with finding curriculum, and again, through policies, helping families and reaching out to those students who feel like they are not being served well enough and leaving the district for those particular reasons. Working with not just my constituents or people that are within District 1, but the other board members and people that are in their districts as well, to come to a consensus on what is best for the district, and not necessarily what's best for either one particular district within OUSD or individual schools within OUSD. It's not about help the Hill schools out at the expense of the flatland schools, or helping OUSD's public schools out at the expense of charter schools, because it's all about families, children and families. So again, it's working with all the other board members to work with the district, get on different committees, not just within the district itself, but the state, the city, and the county also have committees that board members can join to help find ways to create an equitable educational process for students within Oakland.
Thank you.
So students and families identified lack of student support, class size, deteriorating school facilities, high teacher turnover, and outdated curricular resources as the highest priority issues facing our schools. How would you partner with teachers, students, and families to solve these problems and meet the needs of students?
I mean, our schools are drastically underfunded in California, right? So we have to have a real campaign for schools and communities first this fall. There's districts that are just getting way more financial support because of being in the suburbs, being in more affluent districts. Oakland is we get some funding, but California as a whole does not fund its schools adequately. So we need to take that campaign to Sacramento and insist that we get more money for our schools. And I think an elected school board member needs to play a leadership role in helping to advocate in Sacramento for that funding. And we're entering a period of economic crisis, right? Where because of the coronavirus, we don't know what kind of recession we're going to be in. And yet we live in this incredibly affluent economy where there's Silicon Valley, huge amounts of resources around us. So how do we advocate for our students to get what they deserve? I think then you have the leadership that OEA has shown on the community schools model. So even when we're desperately underfunded, how do we still pull together as a community and support our school? And so when I was at Manzanita Seed, there were so many connections with nonprofit agencies, parents volunteering. So we need to really lift that up. That's how people show their love for their school. And there is a lot of that happening at some school sites. And so I think a school board member can go out and advocate for philanthropy, for community organizations to connect with their local schools, for seniors to volunteer in their schools. So I think all of that is really important to advocate for community schools because that's been a model that's been very successful.
Thank you.